Hey everyone, so quick update while I'm waiting for some pizza to be delivered. So I meant to do a video at day 7, like 1 week after I was done, but I've been busy, so everyone's going to have to settle for a day 10 update. Yay! 10 days since I've been circumcised. Still love saying that word. It's been good. There's been like some good changes and some things that are a bit like, So the good ones are that my shaft isn't as swollen. I did have some bruising from where the local anesthetic was injected, but that seems to have cleared up now. The shaft isn't as swollen. My glands aren't as swollen. They're, pink and looking exposed and free and happy. I'm getting like more used to it, I guess. Like for a while I was very like, oh, alright, and I was just very careful of it, but I'm trying to be a bit more like, I don't know, not as precious about it. But that is becoming a bit difficult, which brings us to the bad things. So my inner skin is still quite swollen and it's just very sensitive. In the past few days it's been super touchy, and I don't know whether that's been because of like the way I've been doing my dressings and my bandages, or if it's been because of the underwear I've been wearing. It's just like something's like constantly rubbing on it. Yesterday, so Thursday, I just had like a full porky pig in it for like style day. Didn't wear any pants and didn't bandage it for the whole day and just let it do whatever it wanted to do. And I've also changed the way I bandaged it overnight, which I think helped a fair bit. And then I went for a walk today and that was also a lot better. Also the pants I'm wearing, it's like today I was the epitome of fashion. I had like a really nice white jacket on because it was really cold and windy today. And I had my really stylish Nike shoes with like some rainbow colored print on them. And then I was wearing these sweatpants. I looked like the biggest dag. Funnily enough though, if I was wearing jeans instead of these sweatpants, I would have looked like I stepped out of The Devil Wears Prada. So there you have it. But also even like the clothes, like I put on my jeans first and straight away I was like, this is going to be way too uncomfortable. If I'm going to walk to a shopping centre and back, like I'm not going to cope. Like I did night shift, and finishing my night shift on Thursday morning, so today's Friday, so yesterday morning, like I almost wanted to run home because of how like itchy and aggravated my inner skin was. But then, took everything off, went full Porky the Pig or Winnie the Pooh, depending on which childhood character you relate to. And like it felt so much better instantly. So I changed the way I do my bandage. So what I used to do is I have like 5x5 centimeter gauze squares, and I'd sort of fold them open so that they're like 10 centimeters, and then I'd fold them in half, and then I'd sort of put them specifically around where my sutures are, which obviously my sutures are, so you have like glands, the swollen ring, and then my sutures. And so maybe it's because I was focusing on my sutures that they were rubbing against my inner skin. So I've changed that, and I've just kept them like 5x5 and just opened them up so they're 10x5. And I've just double layered them so that they cover like a bit of my shaft, my stitches, my glands, and a bit of my, that's in the wrong order. Shaft, stitches, inner skin, glands. There we go. And I feel like that helped a lot more today. It's awkward though, because I have to like fold them out and then tape 2 together, and then they become really flimsy. It's not that much of a drama, but when you're like trying to fiddle with it and stuff, it can be quite just a little bit annoying and cumbersome, and you only have 2 hands. So yeah, something else that's been happening is I find that words, Kyle, I'm finding that erections are becoming a lot harder to sort of control and maintain. Like obviously with all this COVID stuff, like everyone else before I had my circumcision done, I was masturbating like crazy because there's nothing else to do and we're stuck inside. And now obviously that isn't happening. And then, so it's just getting a bit harder to control my imagination and things like that. It's very, I'm sure other people do this as well, but like to go to sleep, you just like imagine someone else is holding you. It's very funny how quickly your imagination goes from like, there's no one, let's imagine someone, sex, and then boners and things like that ensue. For anyone who is going through it, 2 things I found that really help is, one of them is an ice pack on like the base of your shaft and just like around that base area. That will help calm erections really quickly. And if you're trying to get to sleep, someone else sent this to me. I can't remember who it was, but whoever it is, thank you, because I found it works, is to try and bring your knees up to your chest. It sort of relieves a lot of tension on that suture line, and makes them a bit more bearable until they pass. I've also found that squeezing your fingernails into your hand, into the palms of your hand, works all right, because it's a different source of pain and it's something else for your body to focus on. And going for a walk as well. I find that I've kept my meds out in my kitchen intentionally so that if, I start popping a boner in the middle of the night or whatever, then I have to walk and get them, and the walking usually does help redistribute some blood. It's also really funny, and I'm going to try and articulate this the best I can, but I don't know if that's going to be that well. Sometimes it's not even like the getting hard that's the crap part. It's like it's resisting the urge to push blood through your dick, if that makes sense. So if you think of like when you squeeze like your pelvic floor or something, and that makes like your dick a little bit harder, that's like a little extra rush of blood. It's like the trying to resist the urge to do that, because that's what your body is trained to do in those situations. Like, you start getting a little bit harder and not so soft, and then your body just wants to like and help it along, and you're like, no, stop it. Hopefully that made sense. But I find that sort of mentally that's sort of the hard thing, because it's sort of like if you could do that, then it's sort of like there's been a bit of pressure that's released internally, but it would just make things worse, because then you'd be a little bit harder. So yeah, that's the thing. In the last week, I guess, it's been really awesome just how many people have spoken to me and reached out to me, and I found out that my like circumcision day video is on the UK Team Helmet website. That is really cool. So whoever found that or sent it to them, or guys at UK Team Helmet, thanks for putting it up. That was really cool. It was especially really cool because, like I said, my first video, it was really hard to find positive experiences about men who just wanted to be cut because they wanted to be cut, and TeamHelmetUK was a really good site for that. So that was really cool. I appreciate all the people who have been cut as adults and are congratulating me and offering support that way. That's really cool. All the people who are messaging me and saying that they watch my videos and they've realized that they're dragging their heels, or they've been wanting to do it but they haven't been sure, that they're waiting for something but now they're not quite sure what they're waiting for. I appreciate you guys having those conversations with me. That is really awesome. But there is absolutely no rush or pressure. Just because I have, and you've seen these videos, and I don't know if it's so much about me. I'm sure if someone else did these videos and they were saying the same sorts of things, you'd probably feel the same about them. But there is no rush or pressure. Just because I've done it and I've taken that next step, doesn't mean you have to. If you want to be circumcised bad enough, I'm sure when the moment's right, it'll happen. I know, haven't mentioned him in a couple of videos, but my friend who runs the 2 Instagram accounts, I know that I'd always be talking to him before I got done. I was like, I want to, no I don't, no I do, no I don't, blah, blah, blah. And he would always say to me, he'd be like, when you are ready, you will, and that is going to be awesome. And then I sort of came back from a trip and all this COVID stuff, a lot of stuff just fell into line. And I was like, yep, now's the time. I messaged him. He was like, oh shit, he didn't expect it to happen so soon. But for me, I was just on the fence. Nope, this is it. I'm ready. And if and when you have that moment, you will be ready too. And hopefully you'll have your own supports and things like that in place. Something else I do want to talk about, just for a quick second, is I know we're all having conversations and we're all talking about, style and cut and where you got it done, especially if you're talking to people in similar cities who, want to get cut. I've spoken about in a previous video about how I was a bit worried about how high or low my cut will end up being, in that I do need to wait until the swelling has gone down, and and I don't know what that sound was, until the swelling has gone down and things are sort of settled into place, and the sutures are out and things like that. Like, I do need to wait to see what that will be. But just be careful about bad mouthing where people went to get the circumcision done. It took me a moment last night to sort of, I was having that conversation with someone else, and they were saying about the doctor that I went to, how a lot of people aren't happy with his results, and because they're too low, and all these other things, and I didn't have, if I did have those concerns, they weren't nagging at me as much. But then having someone else say it, I was just like, oh fuck, what if it isn't what I want, blah blah blah. But I've had a lot of people on the other side of the spectrum being like, look, I've seen this, here are the things why it looks lower than it will be at the moment, just need to wait. And I appreciate people saying that. But for people who are sort of bad-mouthing other people's doctors and circumcisers and things like that, it doesn't throw anything productive out there. I had to sort of take a moment last night and center to myself and just be like, no, what I wanted, which was to be circumcised, has happened. Whether it's, I'm not going to end up with a low circumcision. It's not going to be right behind my glands. And if that's what yours looks like, or that's what you want or wanted, but that's what you got, that is awesome. I hope you're happy with it. But it's not what I wanted. And yeah, it took a moment to be the important thing is that I got circumcised, and that's what I wanted. So yeah. Back on a more positive note to wrap this up, I just finished having a bath, which is why I came out and I was like, fuck, I need to make this video. But maybe because the bath was hot or warmer or whatever, I had to breathe deep through some erections, and it was good. I was really happy. It's still swollen and the suture's still in there. It's still not a finished product yet. It's very much a work in progress. But what I saw made me really happy, and I was like, yes, this is what I wanted, and I'm on the way to getting what I wanted. So that has been really awesome. I will do a day 14 update, and I will make sure it's actually day 14. That's when I'm going to see my doctor for my follow-up. And one thing I sort of I'll ask him, but something that I don't know whether I should be worried or not about it, is my sutures are supposed to be dissolvable, and usually sutures dissolve by day 14. So when I go, I might say about whether they should be removed or whether I wait a couple more days, or sort of what that situation is. Just because I know there's been some people that I spoke to beforehand said that they've got suture stitch marks in their scar line, and it's just not the most attractive look. But if that's what my penis looks like, it's still going to work. It's still going to look awesome. It's still going to be circumcised. I'm really happy with these videos. That we've had a lot of positive comments, and we haven't had a lot of anti-circumcision comments. There was one though, it was either my first or my second video, and it was just it was a really weird thing. Now I'm just talking about these because I find them funny, and as people watching these and following the story, you might find it funny as well. It was just I feel because I articulated my reasons for getting circumcised as clearly as I could, and a lot of you have said it was very clear, and that's very nice of you guys to say. They didn't really have a typical anti-circ stance to have. I wasn't saying that all babies should be circumcised. I wasn't saying all men should be circumcised. I wasn't saying foreskins are gross and ugly or anything like that. I was just saying this is something that I wanted to do, and here's why. And so I've gone and got it done. And so they've just had this really weak anti-circ comment that didn't really make a point. It's just sort of there. Yeah, hopefully if you're watching this, you can go back and find that comment and have a laugh with me. It was just really weird. It was really strange. But yeah, so keep reaching out if that's what you're doing. Keep looking at comments and sharing stories, and let me know when you guys got done and what you like about being cut and how your recovery and journey was, because I think sharing information is always a good thing, especially if it's something like this where it is personal and what works for one person might not work for another person, but it's still good to just share ideas and things like that. Shit, I've been talking for 15 minutes. I didn't mean to do that. Hopefully you've made it to the end, and it's almost the weekend, guys, so happy weekend, good morning, good night, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Stay safe and hope everyone's having a good time. Bye.